So I wanted to make this video about Dante London and his situation with his rental history and his past debt that he owes to a lot of these companies. And he's trying to figure out, what it is that he can do to put himself in a better space. And I just wanted to give him a five tips that can help him versus, people bashing him. I think this is a bit of information that he can use. And if you know of more options, drop them in the comments and let's get into it. So, one of the first things that we see that he's doing is reaching out to or going to these different apartments to see what his balances are on those different apartment complexes, which is a good step, and I commend him for that. What I want to say is that after he's contacted those rental companies, what you want to do is get yourself a piece of paper, write down all of your balances that you owe to those companies. You need to call those companies if they're reporting on your credit and see if you can come to some sort of a settlement. If that's going to be a monthly or a lump sum, you can negotiate with them down to almost a lot of times half of what you owe. And that can certainly help him going forward so that he's able to get himself into an apartment. Secondly, I would say he needs to get with the National Credit Counseling Services, which they provide free credit counseling services to you based on, your situation. And he can go online or call them and speak with someone who's educated in order to help him in his financial situation, whether that be looking at his credit report, helping him to go through it with a fine-tooth comb and educate him on how to prevent this in the future. Thirdly, I would say to cut out all unnecessary spending. A lot of his spending in the last few years has been, of course, emotional. And I know a lot of people don't have their life blasted on YouTube and other platforms to see this, but a lot of our debt is caused by emotional spending. So I would say, thirdly, to cut that out. Stop spending emotionally on things that you do not need. That don't necessarily, edify or help you, not your basics. You need to be focused on only your basics. The fourth thing I would say he needs to do is there's a service on Zillow, I believe it's Zillow Rentals, where you can go and pay, like $35 and apply to a bunch of rental companies that are privately owned. That way you lower your chances of being denied based on your rental history. And you can have even some companies will allow you to write, an explanation letter or, explain to them your situation, and they'll be more, open to renting to you based on that person to person, and you're not dealing with like a management company, and he may have a better opportunity at getting approved. And the fifth thing I would say is that understand that when you put yourself in a public space, you open yourself up to, the nuance of people picking your life apart. And I think that he understands that. But again, I think that he's commendable for even openly sharing this, because a lot of people don't know a lot of this information. A lot of people just sit in it, and like a lot of times people will give up and just stay with their parents. But he's trying not to be a burden on his mother, and he's trying to understand, everything that's he's made the situation, he's made this bed, he's trying to lay in it. So I think we have to give him some grace there. But again, if you have tips or tricks that he could use, drop them in the comments. Dante London, I wanted to make this video because I was in your comments and I saw what was happening, and I just felt encouraged to share what I know. I don't know everything, but if you have additional questions, comment below, or yeah, I can make another video if you're interested. Anyway, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Nikki Explains Credit, and I'm out.